I like to mention them because they're superstars. We gonna go on something like this.
Alex and Mary, they're loving and thirsty and howling. The grasshopper unit is prowling, and Rufus is back home growling. All of your that be dozing on hornblowers later hosing. Like walk to the heat is cruising.
All right, we're back to the Bugs in My Backyard
We're not back yet. Now we are.
podcast, and we've been away a little while. I'm Jonathan. This is Bennett. This is Henry. Not making appearances today, but also part of our cast are Elisa and Samuel. And we've been away a little bit, too long. I didn't know how many people were watching it. It was fun to do it, but I went on a couple work trips, and people said, "Hey, we love your podcast. It's so funny. We like watching you and your boys."
And some people that they told me they like our podcast too.
You heard from people too. Okay. Well, so we realized we need to come back and do a podcast. And maybe doing them all the time is hard to do, but we should put them up there once in a while for kids and parents to learn about bugs. So today we're going to talk about, I should say our opening song, just as a reminder, Beastie Boys, the Grasshopper Unit. And we're not the Grasshopper Unit, but we think it's a fun song.
Today we're gonna
Yeah.
speak about
He can do it. What are we going to talk about?
caterpillars.
Yeah.
And they're called they turn into different kind of tiger moth.
Yes. So we are talking about tiger moths today because this is one insect we get asked about all the time, right, Bennett?
Yep.
And we specifically get asked about woolly bear caterpillars a lot. And so before we talk about the insect everyone's asking us about, we're going to talk about tiger moths in general. So tiger moths, I'm going to show you a picture of one. This isn't one of the ones we're talking about, but just a tiger moth. This one has some striping on it, some red. This brown, black.
No, there's some orange in
There's some orange in there. Yeah. A lot of times they have some orange on the abdomen, which is I think where they get the tiger moth name probably.
For the caterpillar.
No, this isn't that one. No. This is one we saw out at I think this one might have been at our house. But the reason they call them the reason we're talking about tiger moths is because the scientific name, which is something takes a little more studying, has the root of part of the scientific name is arctia, which means bear, or along the lines of being hairy. So the point being, tiger moths have hairy caterpillars, and that's why a lot of caterpillars people see they think are woolly bears because they're all hairy. But we're gonna get more specific. Henry, what are you gonna say?
So the yellow one, I think it's gonna
Go keep talking. What? No, it's all right. What are you gonna say, Henry?
I think it's gonna turn to that orange. Don't that looks like a tiger?
Good.
Tiger moth.
So tiger moths have hairy caterpillars. If you were to just Google woolly bear caterpillar, what you would really find on the internet, mostly the caterpillar that most people think of as a woolly bear caterpillar is this. Oh, I didn't click on it.
Colored.
There, okay. And that turns into an Isabella tiger moth. And again, scientific names are the most specific. So woolly bear could be any kind of caterpillar, but generally people mean this caterpillar. And this caterpillar is kind of famous because for a long time people thought it foretold how cold our winter would be. So if you saw them and it had lots of brown, it would be a short winter or a mild winter. If it only had a little bit of brown stripe, it was going to be a really cold winter. So obviously, I don't think that's really true, but that's what people thought. So normally that's what people think of when they think of a woolly bear caterpillar, and it turns into...
We have a yellow and a black.
I know, so we're going to talk about that in a second. But it turns into this, okay? But that is not... So those are around. Absolutely, those are around. But the one that people talk to us about mostly is this one.
Wait, isn't that not
This is the caterpillar that most people talk to us about. So we get it all the time. And these caterpillars, they're yellow, they're brown, they're black, they're all over the place. They change, they're different colors. You find them a lot of times in weedy areas. So like we'll show you some in a little bit that we found. We found them on our carrots, but a lot of times you'll find them in like abandoned lots. Yeah, there's some carrot. Abandoned lots with weeds. Yeah, Henry?
They eat some more things that are not carrots.
Yep, correct.
They're like plants and yeah.
So some insects only eat one kind of plant. Like, what plant do monarch caterpillars eat?
Caterpillars, they eat milkweed.
Milkweed. So they need milkweed. These caterpillars, you can find them around different places. So let's show you a different picture here. Another one.
You would find them pretty much everywhere.
Here's another one. This one is all white. I'm going to show you now. You'll find them. They're around, and they actually have babies. There's 2 broods. They call them broods, meaning they have like 2 different generations each year. But one comes out in the fall, has lots and lots of baby caterpillars, and they turn into pupa, and they go in the ground, and then they come out in the spring. And so as you might understand from what I said, that they go through complete metamorphosis. So they're an insect that goes from an egg to a larva, which is a caterpillar, then a pupa, so like the cocoon, and then becomes the adult. So the baby looks nothing like the adult. Yes, Henry? You have something you want to add?
You should unplug your phone.
I should get my phone. Because we're gonna show them some video things.
Can I have this?
You can. We're having a little snack time too. Bennett's. We have our guests on the side here. So I think we're gonna go and show. Oh, I should show you what the adult turns into before we start to get to some more show and tell for the tiger moth or the woolly bear that we're talking about. So again, what we are talking about is a different kind. Is not what most people would think of as a woolly bear, but I think it's fair to call it a woolly bear caterpillar. It turns into the one that we're talking about for this episode, into that moth. So that is a white moth called the Virginian Tiger Moth. And Henry, what do you often call it?
Snowy.
Snowy. Why do you call it snowy?
Because it's white and it looks like snow.
Yeah. So Henry, in this summer we had a ton of them out. There were a ton everywhere.
These things are so
And obviously that's why there are a ton of caterpillars now. But Henry was enjoying seeing them every night. And this one was actually taken at Rose Sanctuary in the Audubon Rose Sanctuary near our house in Nebraska. So anyway, we're gonna show you some of our pets that we picked up this fall. Let me grab the video for it. Okay, so we as a family often catch caterpillars, and I just want to say before we start showing the caterpillars that don't ever take an insect home with you unless you know exactly what it's going to eat. So these caterpillars, and have a way to take care of it and get more food for it. So we knew what these caterpillars ate because we got them from our yard, and we've constantly refreshed the food so they survive. We know how to take care of them. So for those of you that like to take insects and bring it home, just think about the fact, can you feed it? Can you take care of it? Because it's taking good care of itself where it was. So we have a little more experience with this. So we got some woolly bear caterpillars, the Virginian Tiger Moth caterpillar. And guys, you want to show them? They climb all over their arms and stuff. See Bennett's, and they got them all. And see, now look at Bennett's, and we're gonna actually go to the close-up video here.
Hey, I got
nice and
All right, Bennett. Here, hold it.
it's on my elbow.
Okay, it sounds like. See this one? This one is all black. So same insect, but this one's all black, and they move fast. They're fast movers. Let's see. Oh, Henry's got it on his shirt. There he goes. He's climbing on his back now. Okay. All right, put him down so we can see him. All right, so those are the woolly bears. So again, that kind of gives you a sense of the scale and what they look like.
Daddy.
But we're going to show you something else because it's not just when you take care of them. When you take care of them, here's what they turn into. So they lay this, you see all the hairy mess around it. That is the cocoon, okay? And inside the cocoon is the pupa, which is what the caterpillar turns into. That's where the caterpillar is transforming. And I'm trying to find the pupa. Here's one with the pupa. Oh, that's a different one. Here it is. So here's one where, sorry, the delay here. Okay. There's one here where the pupa is out of the cocoon and it's alive in there. In fact, sometimes they'll wiggle a little bit. So again, the cocoon is the covering that goes around the pupa. So that's right here. And then here is the actual pupa. You want to say something, Henry?
And then we have a hummingbird moth that turns into, I don't remember what.
Hummingbird moth.
Yeah.
All right, let's show them that. So here's a bigger. So let's do a comparison. Bennett, why don't you put down? Why don't you put the? Okay.
I'll get the pupa.
This is a hummingbird moth pupa, much larger.
Much.
And this is one that that we actually bought from a pet store. It was supposed to be fed to a lizard, and we saved it, and instead it's now turned into a pupa that we'll have. And we're gonna put so this will come. These both will come out in the spring. Now put them down on the table.
Wait, this one feels like it's empty.
It's not empty. They're just light.
Feels like it.
So there's a comparison. You see, this is the hummingbird moth, which is one of the biggest moths that we'll find.
Can I hold that?
And this,
the big
not
one?
right now. And this is the little one. And again, they're alive in there. I don't want to bother them, but it's best not to bother them. We're going to put them in a cool place this winter, and then in the spring we're going to have ourselves our own hummingbird moth and Virginian tiger moth. Okay. So and
Yeah, this one is empty,
No.
Daddy.
all right. No, it's not empty, guys. It just feels light because insects are not very heavy. All right, so we're gonna we have a whole bunch of them. We have about 7 or 8 tiger moth, Virginian tiger moth.
Henry, where's your caterpillar?
Oh,
he's right here.
all right. So, anyway, getting back to our summary, the woolly bear caterpillar that most of you see out and about is the Virginian tiger moth. It turns into a white moth. You'll see them a lot of you see them all over. The moths you mostly see at night. The caterpillars you'll see look in weedy areas. In the fall you'll find them. If you see the other kind of woolly bear, that's cool too.
And
You're sleepy. And is there anything else we need to say before we sign off?
And the hair protects the thing so it wouldn't get hot or not cold.
Not cold. Do you think that's why it has the hair?
Also, if something eats it, it'll just choke on it because it won't eat the hair.
Okay. Well, we'll have to ask an entomologist if that's why it's hairy. I don't know. That's why it's hairy. So anyway, that's our podcast. Hope you
Flavors is mine.
learned a little. Oh yeah, we have our log off song, but I hope you learned something about this.
Wait, we can ask Neil if that's why they have the hair.
We could. We know a lepidopterist, meaning someone that studies butterflies and lepidopterist. That's the name of someone who studies butterflies and moths.
Oh.
Lepidopterist. That's the fancy name.
Lepidopterist.
None of us are doctors, but maybe someday. So with that, we're going to sign off, And we're going to sign off with our closing song from the Presidents of the United States of America, Flea versus Might. And I didn't have it teed up.
One feeds on yummy blood, one lives on plants and mold, one has bionic legs, one thrives in hot and cold. Mouth parts all snarl and gnash, this war will soon begin. Invertebrate and wingless clash, of the two of them who will win? Flea versus might, fighting with bites. Flea versus